The Indoor Football League plays an interesting version of American rules football that leads to exciting, high-scoring games that usually come down to the wire. It is a league that's history can be traced all the way back to the spring of 2004 as a version of football you may want to check out. It is a league that has seen Terrell, Owens, and Marshawn Lynch own teams, a league that has had to ban a team because their owner was gambling on games, and it is the longest continually played indoor football league in North America. This is the story of the Indoor Football League. This is the story of the craziest professional version of football. But before we get into this, if you enjoy college and spring league football content like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, let me know who your favorite indoor football league team is in the comment section below. Before there was the Indoor Football League, there was the Intense Football League and the United Indoor League. The Intense Football League was founded in 2003 and began playing in 2004 with 6 teams. The Amarillo Dusters, the Corpus Christi Hammerheads, the El Paso Rumble, the Lubbock Lone Stars, Odessa Roughnecks, and the San Angelo Stampede Express. Amarillo would finish the year going 13-3 and won the Intense Bowl 62-47. During the season, the Rumble would fold, and the league oversaw the operations of the team till the end of the season, with them finishing 0-16. The league suspended operations during the 2005 season when they saw the Amarillo Dusters leave for the AF2, an Arena Football Developmental League, while the other teams joined the National Indoor Football League. The league would come back in 2006 with Odessa, San Angelo, and Corpus Christi returning, while they added the Laredo Lobos, the Louisiana Swashbucklers, and the Sen Texas Barracudas. Odessa would win the title game 97-56, finishing the year 12-2, and after the season, Laredo would leave for the AF2. They would expand heading into the 2007 season with the Frisco Thunder, Katy Rough Riders, and the Alaska Wild, with the Wild becoming the first professional football team in the state of Alaska. The Swashbucklers would win the championship 46-27 over Corpus Christi, finishing the year 13-1, while the Wild finished 2-12. The 2007 Intense Bowl became the first ever indoor league championship available on podcast. Heading into the 2008 season, the league would add a second team in Alaska with the Fairbanks Grizzlies and planned to add a team in El Paso for the 2009 season. The Swashbucklers would win the Intense Football League Championship 66-35 over Corpus Christi and would dominate throughout the season, outscoring opponents 947-385 or 67.64 points per game to 27.5 points per game. The United Indoor League would be founded in 2000 and began playing that year. 10 owners from the National Indoor Football League and 2 from the AF2 would decide to form their own breakoff league. It consisted of the Black Hills Red Dogs, Evansville Blue Cats, Fort Wayne Freedom, Lexington Horsemen, Ohio Valley Greyhounds, Omaha Beef, Peoria Rough Riders, Rock River Raptors, the Sioux City Bandits, Sioux Falls Storms, and the Tupelo Fire Ants. The Dayton Warbirds were a proposed team but would never play a down in the UIF, being suspended because owner Jeffrey Jodway began gambling on games and a bunch of other things. We will be making a separate video on this team in the future because it's just a wild story. The Sioux Falls Storm would beat the Sioux City Bandits 40-38 in the league's first championship game. Following the season, the Tupelo Fire Ants would fold and the Black Hills Red Dogs would return to the IFL after a 1-14 season. The Bloomington Extreme would join the league in 2006, and Sioux Falls would win their second straight championship with a 72-64 win over Lexington. Following the 2006 season, Peoria decided to return to the AF2, while their assets were sold to Jeremy Golden, who would restart the team in the AF2, but it was technically not a continuation with the change their name to the Fort Wayne Fusion. 2007 saw the addition of the Colorado Ice and the River City Rage, with the departure of Evansville, Lexington, Ohio Valley, and Rock River after the season. Once again, Sioux Falls would win the championship, beating Lexington 62-59. Although Lexington had made it to the title game, their owner announced that they had played their last game due to poor attendance and lowered revenue. They returned to the AF2 for the 2008 season. The 2008 season saw the United Indoor League as a shell of itself, as they would add the Wichita Wild but would be down to 8 league members. Sioux Falls would win the 4th straight United Bowl championship. During the 2008 season, the Intense Football League and the United Indoor Football League decided to play a joint championship game that saw Sioux Falls take on Louisiana. Heading into the game, it was announced that the leagues would be merging to create a partnership that would ensure long-term growth of the sport. IFL president Chad Dittman told the press, "Today is one of the best days, if not the best day, for indoor football. What the merger of the NFL and the AFL did for the professional football in the 1960s, this partnership will do for us. It can and will lead to bigger and better things. It was a historical move that saved a bunch of jobs and teams from both leagues." Sioux Falls would beat Louisiana in the National Indoor Bowl 54-42. The new league would become known as the Indoor Football League and would get inquiries from teams to join throughout the country. Of the 17 teams involved in the previous leagues, 14 would join the newly formed league, as well as 3 teams from the IFL and 2 expansion teams. The Maryland Maniacs would win the Atlantic Division, while the Omaha Beef would win the Central in the United Conference, while El Paso won the Lone Star Division and Billings won the Pacific Division in the Intense Conference. Billings would beat River City 71-62 in the 2009 United Bowl. They would lose El Paso, River City, and Saginaw following the season, but added 9 teams including the Amarillo Venom, Kent Predators, Arkansas Diamonds, Austin Turf Cats, Chicago Slaughter, Green Bay Blizzard, La Crosse Spartans, Richmond Revolution, and Tri-City Fever. After playing in 9 games during the 2010 season, sadly the Alaska Wild would suspend operations. The league had taken control of the team in March, but by the end of May, they had not found a new owner to run the team. They had them forfeit their last 5 games. They were 2-7 at the time. Fairbanks remained throughout the season, keeping professional football alive in Alaska, and actually made it to the playoffs. Billings would beat Sioux Falls 43-34 to win their second straight United Bowl championship. Following the 2010 season, 9 teams would fold, including the 2-time defending champions, the Billings Outlaws and Sioux City Bandits. They would introduce 7 new teams to bring their total to 22. Sioux Falls would return to glory when they would beat the Tri-City Fever 37-10 in the United Bowl. Following the season, Fairbanks would suspend operations after a $17,000 lawsuit for unpaid rent at the downtown office and player apartments. They planned to restructure the organization and hoped to return after the 2012 season, but they would never return any professional football in the state of Alaska. The league would lose a majority of their Texas-based teams except for the Allen Wranglers, the newly formed Lone Star Football League, playing with only 16 teams, and the Wranglers would sign Terrell Owens to their team, making headlines while also giving him part ownership of the team. Owens would only spend a short amount of time with the league though. Sioux Falls would once again beat Tri-City in the United Bowl 59-32. The league would drop to 9 teams with the Bloomington Edge, Lehigh Valley Steelhawks, Omaha Beef, Reading Express, Everett Raptors, New Mexico Stars, and Wichita Wild either folding, hibernating, or moving to a different league. The Cheyenne Warriors were supposed to join the league. When their owner passed away, they would become inactive. The Allen Wranglers would rebrand to the Texas Revolution. Sioux Falls would once again win the United Bowl 43-40 over Nebraska. In 2014, the Iowa Barnstormers would surprise everyone and leave the AFL for the IFL, and the Spokane Shock followed the following year. Spokane would need to rebrand due to the Arena Football League owning the rights to the logo and name, and they would become the Empire. The Arizona Rattlers would join the league on October 17, 2016, leaving the Arena Football League, and the league rejected the Jacksonville Shark, who tried to jump to the IFL from the AFL because they were outside the IFL's regional territory. They were rejected. Following the 2017 season, Sioux Falls announced that they were joining the Champions Indoor Football after winning 6 straight IFL titles. The Nighthawks would later follow. Following one of its most successful seasons in league history, they would only have 6 teams to play. After a lawsuit threatened Sioux Falls and the CIF, which was because the CIF sued the IFL for attempting to bring in the Bloomington Edge and West Michigan Ironmen, Sioux Falls returned to the league. Iowa would beat Sioux Falls in the title game, snapping the Storm's dynasty 42-38. Heading into the 2019 season, the league would add the Quad City Steamwheelers, the Bismarck Bucks from the CIF. They would also have expansion teams in Tucson in the Sugar Skulls and the San Diego Strike Force to bring their league total to 10. Sioux Falls returned to the top of the league, beating Arizona in the United Bowl 56-53. Prior to the 2020 season, the IFL agreed to a historical arrangement with the Steve Germain family, which acquired the rights to the league's national sponsorships, advertising, broadcast rights, licensing, marketing, and communications. This agreement provided for the first time a national level sponsorship and broadcast sales effort for the IFL, while also creating a new revenue stream for both the league and the league's teams. The league would continue to expand, adding the CIF's back-to-back champs, the Duke City Gladiators, and the Oakland Panthers were once co-owned by Marshawn Lynch. The Spokane Shock would be revived by former NFL player Sam Adams, while the Nebraska Danger were looking to sell but could not find a buyer by the deadline. The league was not done yet, as they would create 2 expansion teams in the Frisco Fighters, who were owned by the Germain family. They went into the season with 13 teams, would only have 2 actually play games due to the start of their season on March 7th, 2020, right before the lockdown began. Leading into the 2021 season, the league would add the Massachusetts Pirates, Northern Arizona Wranglers, and the Louisville Extreme, but would see the Oakland Panthers, Cedar Rapids River Kings, Quad City Steamwheelers, and San Diego Strike all withdraw from the season due to the repercussions left by the events of 2020. The IFL would go into the season with 12 teams, finished with 11. They would also announce a television deal with Stadium to showcase 1 game a week. The Louisville Extreme would have their season end early when they were terminated from the league after failing to meet and maintain league obligations. The move came following a unanimous vote by the league's board of directors that Monday. IFL Commissioner Todd Tryon would say, "This is a regrettable situation, but as our league continues to generate positive momentum, this became a necessary action. We have tremendous respect for Victor Cole and his partners in Louisville and the hard work they put into developing Louisville as a viable IFL franchise. However, as we position the IFL for long-term success, it's imperative that we maintain the high standards we have set as a league." Massachusetts would win the United Bowl 38-34, beating Arizona to cap off a successful first season for them. The Cedar Rapids River Kings would be removed from the league's website after the season, and right before the start of the 2022 season, the Shock were removed from the league after the team lost its lease for their home arena. San Diego, Quad City, and the Bay Area Panthers, who had relocated from Oakland to San Jose, would return to the league, and they also saw the addition of the Vegas Nighthawks. The league was up to 14 teams, the most they would have since 2012. Northern Arizona would beat Quad City 47-45 in the national championship. The Bismarck Bucks suspended operations, but the league added the Tulsa Oilers to replace them. The Bay Area Panthers, after going 1-15 in 2022, would go 10-5 in the 2023 national championship, beating Sioux Falls 51-41. The league would continue to expand, bringing in Jacksonville and San Antonio from the National Arena League to bring the league total up to 16 teams. Bismarck remained idle at this point, and the Columbus Wild Dogs once again saw their launch postponed for the 4th time. Come the 2025 season, the league hopes to welcome back Bismarck, while also bringing in Columbus and a team from Indianapolis known as the Fisher Freights. Heading into the 2024 season, the league is basically serving as the minor leagues to the UFL. They will play a 19-week schedule with each team playing 16 games. They have broadcast partners with CBS Sports, but will look to have another strong year to stay at the top with the Arena Football League returning in May. It has one of the largest numbers of currently active teams among indoor football leagues and may have survived its rough period throughout the 2010s. It is the oldest continuously active indoor league in North America. So what are my thoughts on the league? Well, I have watched 3 full games while working on the video. 2 from last week, the Green Bay vs. Sioux Falls game, and Tucson vs. San Antonio, as well as their most watched game of the season so far, Las Vegas vs. Phoenix. I'm going to be honest, at first, I did not really totally care for the league, as I found the San Antonio broadcast to be a bit annoying, but as I watched more and more games, the league grew on me. So much so that when the Green Bay broadcast brought on the University of Wisconsin Green Bay head basketball coach, I became extremely annoyed when he wasn't taking the game or the broadcasting spot very seriously, making obnoxious jokes throughout. The games are exciting and it's a nice change up from the vibes of the NFL. It is super creative playing on a 50-yard field, and most of the games are super exciting to watch. Is it the best football in the world? No. But it gives players a chance to play football professionally, provide them a way to play the game they love, and provide for their family. It also could lead to future opportunities for them in the NFL and UFL as well. I am not a fan of the deuce rule, which gives a team 2 points if they kick it through the uprights on the kickoff, but it also provides an opportunity for kickers to show off their leg and accuracy, as the goalposts are about half the size of the NFL. At the time of recording, Frisco leads the Eastern Conference with a 4-0 record, while the Bay Area Panthers and Las Vegas Nighthawks are tied for first in the Western Conference. Games are usually played on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays and are live streamed on YouTube and broadcasted on local television stations. I think if you're a fan of football, the Indoor Football League is something you definitely need to at least give a chance. It may not be your cup of tea, but it's worth a try. What do you think? Who wins the IFL title this year? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out one of my other videos YouTube thinks you will love right here. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.